Hello and welcome back to the colony with Man of the Antz. We are back in Empires of the Undergrowth. Now you might be saying to yourselves, hang on, wasn't the last video Empires of the Undergrowth? Yes it was. We are a little early coming back to the series, but that is for a very good reason. And that is because Slug Disco even have found it in their hearts to release a new level. Ooh, the other foot. So we're going to give this one a go. Now the other foot, I did read the little blurb on it, is essentially the Formicarium Challenge 3, but in reverse. And before that, I believe you have to provide the workers for the first two Formicarium challenges. So, yeah, interesting little scenario we have, isn't it? So we'll get them getting some food. There's our entrance to our nest. So it's given us no direction so far. What do we have? We can only make little workers, look. So we'll make some workers, I guess. And we shall see what happens after that. So we can swap these two over now, because these should be starting to hatch shortly. In fact, maybe not quite yet. Let's put them back, just to make sure someone is actually collecting that food. We haven't actually had any of them grow yet. Oh, there's the first one, look. So let's extend this immediately to 19. Oh, we do need a food store. That is a very good point. Should we make this the food store? Now let's make the food store a little further away. What am I doing? This? Yeah. That's what we will make the food store. And so currently we have no objectives. And nothing to do apart from open this up. But we'll get as much as we can hatched first. Because I don't know what's going to happen when we open that up. So let's move the nursery group back to the nursery. And let's just use all of our food, gathering as many ants as we can in our initial little army before we open up that entrance. Because it does already have an enemy nest marker there as well. Should we get, let's get all 19. Yeah, let's get all 19, which gives us a little bit of food in reserve. Let's start this digging out. We're a little bit down on food still, so let's just make just three food tiles in there. Start the first group running up that way. They've dug that out. Wonderful. Thank you very much. And once they've dug this out, yeah, lots of food over here. Well, I say lots, not lots. And you can see here, this is where we will, at some point, venture across to try and take out the opposing army. Now, I hope...
Need space to grow. Dig, dig, dig.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I wasn't talking to you.
I hope the opposing army isn't based on what your army was like at the time you did the third Formicarium challenge. Because I don't know if you guys remember, because it's a little while ago now, but my army was super overpowered, to be quite frank.
Is it feeding time already?
Yes.
Oh, more food? Okay.
Insatiable.
So I'm actually going to send them over there first, because that's closer to our nest. It'll be easier for us to get to that. And I'm going to upgrade this nest here first, or this nursery I should say. Might be worth actually making a little food store a bit closer to home as well, just so they don't have to go as far. Now, I don't know how their pathing works with regards to dropping off food, whether they'll see this as the primary chamber, so they might go there automatically anyway. Now, it looks like they are dropping it there first, so we should be okay there. In fact, I might even, just to be sure,
Let's begin with a small threat.
Connecting the Fusca colony now. I will let 10 through to start with.
So it looks like they're about to connect up the colonies.
Our raptors have neutralized the threat to their queen.
Oh no, is that what they're doing? That's the test on the other colony, on what we'll call our colony.
At once, though. We don't want to harm the queen.
Understood.
So that's just like our little timer. So we know how long we've got until they start going crazy on us.
I wonder how they will react to a rival raptor colony.
A couple of little enemies dropped in, but nothing major.
Antz.
So I'm going to continue upgrading this this nest area first. So I think that's going to be more important than trying to get numbers out. I'm just going to make some more food tiles here. Perfect. Oh, no, do that one. He was just about to do it and he walked away because I hit the wrong button. Oh no, do that one, do that one, do that one and do that one. And then do that one. We're going to need a movement tile, aren't we? There's a little bit of food down here, so you can go down there and get that. Right, so we have a fully upgraded 19 group of our little workers. They're just called workers? They're just workers, yes. It's a lot harder to tell with the colours, but then I suppose that the colour only applies to the workers, doesn't it? So that's your... We'll get workers to the tube, get 40 workers to the tube. So we do actually have a... I didn't see that pop up. 40 is a slightly frustrating number. Particularly as we have used all of our food up. So maybe we shouldn't have been upgrading anything at all. I'll give it a moment and see if any more food magically arrives. Otherwise we might have to restart and not upgrade everything immediately. Because it appears to have backfired ever so slightly, doesn't it? Okay, I got a little bit carried away and I've built all the ants down here. So we have 2 chambers of 19, 1 chamber of 7. So you can see we have lots of ants now. You see I've actually only need to get 9 ants to the tube, and that's because I got a little carried away and I actually started sending them up the tube. So we'll get the last 9 up there. You can see you can just point them to the tube and they just happily get sucked up as soon as they get in there to the beginning. Boop, boop. And there we go. Tube done. So we now have army ants unlocked. Ooh, so we can make our little army ant workers. Okay, so we need to make a new...
Excellent.
Yeah, that's right. Got myself confused there for a second. So we have lots of food out here again. I might even split these into a couple of groups, you know. I might even... So we'll let them go and get the food. So you can, yeah, we also have our same food store down here again. A little bigger than last time, I think. How much do the army ants cost? 40.
About a combination of a raptor and a Fusca. Let's start with 20 of each.
So 20 workers, just workers. Ah, but we do have a few things milling around now. So actually, let's bring everything back. Put them into one group for the minute. Let's send them all over there. So I'm not going to bother upgrading anything, because if I upgrade it and I have to send them away, then I've essentially just lost whatever it was that I upgraded. It seems foolish to do so. So I would in fact to stick with, I forgot how much they cost again, 30, 40? So it's going to get a few more army ants, just so we've got something to attack these little whip spiders with. Now they shouldn't be too bad, they're only little teeny tadges, aren't they? Little tiny little babbies. They won't give us much food though, which is maybe a possible small problem. I don't think they give us very much at all. Let's have a quick look. Well, 35 actually. 35 is not too bad. Grab this little bit of food that's down here, and we might as well send them. I'd like these to be separated out, really, but if they're not, they're not. Perfect. So now I'm going to put the army ants into their own little group and send them back over here. Just I don't want to risk sending them up the tube. I don't think it would happen that way, but just in case, let's not risk it. So let's get our 20 workers up the tube. Perfect.
An unconventional defense, yet highly effective.
We've got a little bit of food, but not too much. I'm not going to worry about building anything at the moment. And we'll see what he continues chucking at us, shall we? It's interesting that they kind of flipped it, isn't it?
Seeds on the surface for my succeeding eruptors. Gather them quickly.
Seeing something from the other side, doing the Formicarium challenge as the enemy rather than the friends. It is interesting. Keep tube supplied with workers.
Colony's ability to withstand such overwhelming assaults is incredible.
So all I need to do is just point them over there, really. We can use the 5 as a gather group if we need. And as they go, we should hatch out more straight away. Our food stores are full. We're not going to do anything, because as soon as they disappear up the tube, we're gonna hatch out.
You're doing admirably, my erectors. Perhaps a small reward.
So is it stupid to send more up there than when the bar's full? Should we not do that? It is staying full for longer, so maybe that did make a difference. Our food is still full though, isn't it? So I might make some more little army ant buddies. I might pull them back for a minute, because we're sending loads up there, but for basically no reason at the moment. So we'll just let them do some food gathering. Keep an eye out. Oh, there's some stuff dropped. Oh, some enemies just dropped right on us.
Shall we? Enter the Devil's Coach Horse.
But not a very impressive version of it, so we're not too worried. So I might take the 2s and run them up here to the sea. Create a little group out of the 2, send them up there. Food stores are full, but do we want to make any more? Not too sure, actually. Ah, there's the proper one.
I seem to have dropped my beetles. I hope they don't harm the little ants.
He's a creepy guy, isn't he? So we should just leave them. I might pull it back just a little bit.
Perhaps that's enough for now.
So we've managed to successfully get all of that sorted. Let's send the 5s up here, but then our food stores are full. I might just increase or just upgrade our food store. That's what we'll do.
How has the colony been responding?
They mounted an excellent defense against 20, 25, and
Oh,
even
we have
60
a
ants.
lot of food to gather now.
Perhaps
That
we can
is
find more
concerning,
for
to
them
be
next
honest.
time.
What a fantastic suggestion.
Slave makers have unlocked. What are they?
Let's see how the colony grows over the next few days.
Now that they have experienced battle,
So are these the ones which steal eggs?
rise the number of soldiers.
Sanguinea, I think it is, isn't it? How much do they cost? Only 65, okay. So I'm going to go with a 19 of these, given no other direction at the moment. Oh, interesting. I'm going to put them with them over there, assuming they're somewhat
Good, good.
attacking focused.
Plan for what comes next. Collect it quickly. Faster, faster.
So still got a good chunk of food to collect. So I did increase this little area back here as well, so we could make more workers to act as an additional nursery for the queen. So I'm going to start building some of those. I think it's because we only got 7 at the moment, which isn't all that many really. Send everyone over. Oh, there they are, look. Our first glimpse of our first controllable slave slave owners. I'm carrying that little. I don't know where you guys are based, but did you remember a candy with like little sort of puffed corn bits of various colours? I can't remember what it was called now, but that reminds me very much of it. Don't look as interesting as their thumbnail up close, but, you know, still exciting to have a new ant species. Let's get out of there. Oh, my mouse is all over the shop. What are you doing, mouse? Yes, I'm going to make some more workers. They're going to stay in the nursery, as I say. There's a little bit of food up there, so we'll send everyone up there. Might as well add them to one group again. And it's not currently giving us any sort of actual objective, which concerns me slightly. I'm not going to worry about doing anything about the food stores, unless saying that we can upgrade. Yeah, we can upgrade a couple of these, so we'll just do that to keep it ticking along. Because when these guys hatch, that'll cost a little bit of food anyway, won't it? And in the meantime, oh, here we go. Right, just going to throw a bunch of ants at us, is he? Survive the incoming attacks. Should be easy enough. I might just plop them right in the middle here, or at the beginning. I'll place them right at the beginning. That's what we'll do. And there's one of our ants is still out there. Look, very bravely trying to take it all on himself. So let's have a separate gather group down here. Get rid of that pheromone marker. Still not sure if I'll actually upgrade anything or not, so I'm still a little hesitant to do much with the food that we have. So I guess what we should do is actually just increase the size of the food store then, isn't it? If we're not going to use the food for anything else for the moment. Could make some speed tiles, I suppose, but there's quite a lot of speed tiles needed to do all of that, isn't it? What have we got there now? Just some wee little beetles, wee little grubs. They'll go down fairly fast. That's not a problem. Ooh. Slightly more of a problem.
The new challenger has entered the arena.
Right on top of the larvae as well. Cheeky. But our food's doing okay. We've got a lot of food there as well, so maybe we should think about making something else. I don't really know what. Maybe more army ants? Yeah, more army ants. I'm trying to remember what the challenge was, but I can't quite recall. Let's just make it a 19. Oops. Straight away. Oh, I got myself confused. Yeah, that's right.
Dinner time.
So that'll help us out just a wee bit. Oh, hello. A couple of tiger beetles come in to say hello. The fives are still busy gathering all the food they can. There's a little bit left down there. I'll send them down there. So this has proven to be a little more challenging, unsurprisingly. Big one's down, so it's just the wee little one to go. Yeah, they did take out, or is that the new one? That's the new one. I was going to say they took out a whole chunk then, but no, that is just the new one. So they didn't. So now it's probably time to start thinking about getting another slave maker. So we could put them behind it, but they do go slower through the nest chambers. But then do we want...
A wolf spider.
Oh, hello. Let's have a quick look. This could be a bit more challenging. So it would go, yeah, it would go there. So let's just start digging that one out ready. I'll add the 5s to the group because there's obviously no food down there. So we're doing okay. Our food hasn't gone down too drastically due to all the fights.
The colony seems to have made significant progress. Perhaps it is time we began phase 2 of the trial.
Well, perhaps it is.
I will prepare the feeder colonies.
I don't like the term feeder colonies. Makes them sound very transient, doesn't it? That is all of the food gone. We're pretty much up to full. So I might start putting down
They haven't lost their potency. Now let's try the formica roof.
a few more of those.
Will be more aggressive. Our Ereptas will need to put up a strong defense. Adding 20 roof ants.
What, to us, or do we need to go to them? Because we don't have any roof ants, do we? No, we don't. Ooh, trap jaws have unlocked. Oh, that's a shame that I just built that, isn't it? Okay. Well, let's start on the trap. This isn't a very elegantly done nest at all. I've not left that room to expand. We've not left any room to get past. I suppose we could just put a path straight through the middle of something and put some speed tiles down. That would actually make a lot of sense now that I say it out loud. But not for now. Oh no. Let's put all the workers into a second group and we'll send them
Once again,
down here for the moment.
neutralize the threat to their queen.
Good. Continue the experiment as before.
And then we'll start getting some trap jaws down pretty quick smart.
Of course.
We'll also upgrade a bunch of the food tiles. To get as much of that in as possible. Send the ones over there because it looks like they're done.
Introducing 40 roof ants.
Yes, that's what he's doing to the other colony. So that's our sort of time bomb
Excellent defense.
on how long we need to take to actually get everything done in our nest.
Now, let's see how they handle the Rufa and the Fusca invaders. We will start.
So we've collected all of that food. It's given us a nice little surplus. So let's start thinking about if we were going to build something up
Wonderful
here.
victory on 2 fronts.
It would look a little bit like that. We'll just dig a hole straight through there. And we could do the same over here.
Perhaps we should try 3 colonies this time.
We've got a little bit of food and a couple of massive whip spiders to take care of as well.
And Repta ants.
So let's send it's probably silly sending the workers over there actually, so let's not do that. Let's send the workers behind us gathering food. Oh, we haven't got the trap jaws though, that's also quite silly. So one's down, let's send those over there. Take care of the second one. The 2s have pretty much hoovered up all the food behind there. Send them down there a little bit. There's a bit more over there as well. Food stores are full, but we're going to be losing a few ants in a second, which will start taking care of that problem. But our food stores are still pretty full, so let's make another trapjaw. Nursery. And if we need to upgrade these, we can just put some speed tiles down. So there's a little bit of food back here, so I'll send the 2s over there. The 1s I'll just pull back to the... Oh no, I'll leave them up there because there's food. Your food gathering is on, so they should definitely be getting it. Which they are. I can see the numbers ticking down now. Wonderful. There's a little bit of food just scattered throughout our nest. Add those to that as well. So that's 2 of each, now is it? 2 army ants, 2... Oh, saying that, where are they? The 7s. Oh, they're in there. We never actually finished getting the rest of those. We should get that done as well if we do get a chance for some more food soon. So I might add the 7s to the nursery group as well, just to give us a little bit of extra oomph with the egg. Well, 30 workers to the tube. We can do 30 workers easy enough. Off you go, lads. In fact, we'll send the ones with them, just because they do often drop stuff on us, don't they, when we're over here. So would have liked maybe a little bit more food in store at this point. So that's our 30 workers sent off to their doom.
A marvelous victory.
So a little bit of food dropped up there, so we'll send the 2s up there to get that. The 1s we'll leave here for now, shall we? Nah, let's send them up as well. Let's send them up as well. Let's just hoover that food up as fast as we can, right? And it's gone. Good job, guys. Let's bring the 1s back there, the 2s back to the middle. See what that does to our food supplies. 500. 600. Probably not going to go up much more than that, is it? Oh, a little bit more. It's going to tick up a little bit. Keep the tube supplied. So we'll send the 1s here and the 2s here.
Survive against a sustained flow from all 3 colonies. Let's see.
A sustained flow it needs to be. So I'm going to turn off the workers' food gathering and attacking. So they will hopefully just go straight to the nest, to the tube, sorry.
You're doing well, my intrepid Reptils, but what's the...
I love seeing the little trapjaws fling themselves back. I think it's awesome.
Join the fray.
So there's a little bit of food down here as well, actually. So what I might do is I might take these, send them down there to gather that. There still should be a relatively constant number going up there. We can always add some more as well if we need to. No, it looks like we should be okay.
And another. Oh no, 3 tiger beetles.
Yeah, but one's only a tadger. One's only a tadger, so that's not too bad. The 5s are down there gathering food, and there's some more food dropped as well if we get the chance to go for it. In the meantime, the 1s will be harvesting all of the food from this, so I may as well increase the size of these slave makers here.
Good work, my little ants. But what's this? 1,
Speeders.
9, 10 wolf spiders.
10 wolf spiders.
Seems fair.
It doesn't seem very fair, does it? Only have to go another 13 seconds, though, keeping the tube supplied, so we'll be fine, I reckon. Maybe again spent a little bit too much money. Maybe just a little bit. Too much money, too much food, sorry. Our food supplies have got a little low there, but it's not too bad. We have managed to get through them all.
Yes, yes. Victory to the Reptils.
We should have moved the 5s, because they've always got stalled down there a little bit.
Performed excellently against the Roofer. They just staved off an attack from 40 Roofers.
Oh, just 40, was it? You liar.
I think that's enough for now. We don't want to overstress them.
Agreed.
Yeah, agreed, the liar. And he's going to connect this up and we're going to get attacked by an almighty army. That's what's going to happen. So we're almost full of food again. So what do we do now? We have an empty nest here. Do we just go for more trapjaws because they're the biggest, baddest of the bunch? Or do we say more army ants because they're the little... Let's go for more army ants, yeah. That's what I've decided to do. How much food is left there? A little bit. Oh, and there's a whole chunk more. Right, 1s head up there for starters. The 2s head down to this one.
Additional experiments will be on hold for the time being.
I understand. No more tests.
So we need to think about where we'd put the next nest, I think, which would be there. We should probably just carve a little hole through these as well, just to provide some easier routes through if they need them. And now we will go for some slave makers in this one. Send the ones down there to help with that food gathering. Pop that over there. We have an almighty army now, don't we? I mean, none of them have been upgraded, which is a slight disappointment. No, it's going to have to be there, isn't it? And it should be one more up than that. Somewhat like that. And we will do that. That'll be our next little nest area. And that will be for more trap jaws. Once they start digging it out. Of course, any minute now. Any minute now. And I think once we get these down, have we got enough space to do it? Ooh, I don't think we have. I think we can only get 18 down.
A few ereptors can't hurt.
So we'll leave them, I'll say we'll leave them doing their thing. Let's maybe not spend all of our food doing stuff right now. Did I not send the one? I did send the ones up. And it's got confused gathering food still. The 5s, actually I'll send it there to get that cheeky little bit of food that's there. So you've taken care of those in relatively quick order. Because it was the 2s that had, yeah, they didn't have food gathering on either, no. So I'll leave them on the 5s.
Would it be unfair to help the colony out? Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Feeling generous. Collect your seeds swiftly, my little ants.
I will. I will. Survive the incoming attacks. I don't really want to go below 500 food here, I don't think. So we'll see how many we can get down. We are also, of course, limited by this number up here. Looks like the food is pretty much dried up. We'll add them to the attack group anyway. And if we get a chance to make more, we shall make more. Let's get rid of the 2 pheromone marker. 5's back in the middle. It's going to drop stuff in. Some of them are red. Have we seen red ones before? I'm not too sure. We should absolutely muller them though, really, in theory. It's the numbers which are going to be the concern, because they can attack so many individual ants at once. We can see the food numbers popping up. We are slowly ripping them apart. Wonderful. So they're going to grab all that food and bring it back to base, which will allow us to make a few more of these. Oh, no, we can't. No, we cannot. We have maxed out on soldiers. So now, I think we will make some speed tiles. Speed tiles.
Trap your ants. Snap, snap, snap.
Again, you'd expect us to absolutely muller these because there are less trap jaws there than we have. Although they are higher level, you can see by the size of them that some of them are level 3s. Are they all level 3s? And there are some 1s and 2s there as well. But it is a bit of a mixture, whereas we are relying solely on numbers. And no food from them, of course. You don't get any food from enemy ant attacks. So we can't expand our great moving walkway. He says expanding it just a little bit. Just want to get these little gaps that I've missed, look. And I just allow the workers to move a little bit faster around the inside of the nest. Got a little bit of food spur. Ooh, everyone come inside.
Burrowing, burrowing, tunneling, tunneling, chomping, chomping.
I was glad I was inside to see that, to be honest. I'm not sure I'd have picked up on what he meant by, you know, burrowing, chomping, blah, blah, blah. I didn't see them up there, though. I didn't see they were going to be quite as close to the queen as that. So let's... Oh, yeah, good. A number of them did get back there in time. That's fine. It's a lot of crickets, isn't it? That is a lot of crickets to be thrown at us. And also, that's going to really screw with the ability for the nursery workers to get the eggs out. Let's turn off their food gathering and their attacking, so they will hopefully ignore as much as possible. But if they have to run past one of these, they will get involved in the fight regardless. I'm doing okay though. I mean, this thing here's got very few things attacking it, and he got absolutely mullered. Absolutely mullered like. So we've got lots of spare capacity, so I think in the short term, we will just focus on doing something like this.
Chances of anything coming from those jars were 1,000,000 to 1, they said.
The 5s we'll pull back here. And we'll send the 1s out to deal with these annoying... I don't know. I'm going to say harvestmen. Because I still haven't got it in my head which one is actually correct. And that should be an easy enough fight, so I'm just going to go in here and look at upgrading some more of these speed tiles. Wonderful. And they're just still running around like the annoying little things they are. Look, skittish is what they are. They're skittish. But he's already lost 1 leg, so that should be it. Yeah, there he goes. And then there's one little tadger of a 1 up here. We'll go and take care of him as well. I don't think I've ever noticed that the speed tiles have their own colour on the minimap. That is new to me. What have we got now? Ooh, leaf cutters. Big old beefy leaf cutters. When our forces are quite split as well. I would very much like you guys to move away from there. There you go. So it looks like this isn't going to be quite what I was expecting. I was expecting the gates to open here and then a fairly large and sustained attack from an enemy queen was going to come in, and that we might then have to go and try and kill that queen. That's what I was expecting, so it's not quite what I had in mind. It is interesting to have this very eclectic mix of ants to use, though. I am quite enjoying that. So not much else we can really do. We've maxed out on ants. Any more of our speed tiles? Don't do that. We can upgrade. Yeah, loads. Look. Let's do a bunch more of those. Well, not as many as I thought. Okay, well, we'll do those few. I don't know why this one's taking so long for something else. Oh, there we go. Right on cue.
Beetles. Colourful.
They are very colourful. And they are very deadly, yes. Still no more seeds dropped. These ones are destroying us. Look at our food tick down there. At least these are going to give us some food in return though, which is good because we are going to need it after this. We have lost a good couple of 100 food, I would have thought. More than a good couple of 100 food. And jumping spiders on top of that. There are some seeds now, so I'm going to try and send the 5s sneaking down here to get the seed. And that's it for the moment. We'll let them get some food in. Because we could really do with replenishing our stocks. There should be lots there with all those beetles. Yeah, it's really ticking up now. Perfect. Perfect. So much so, I might actually have to upgrade some of our food stores. Or I could build more ants. But do we need more ants? Probably not. I could upgrade some of ours. Possibly. Go and grab those few little bits there. And then head back to your little hidey hole. So we do have 1,500 food. So let's look at upgrading some of our...
The army is on the march. Send them back.
So some army ants come in. But a fairly small force, so we should be able to pretty easily, as long as I move our armies forward so they actually all go on the attack, should be able to fairly easily take care of them. It has cost us already a couple of hundred food though. They are quite tough, aren't they? Yeah, those army mages are very tough. Army ant mages have unlocked on the other hand. But we don't have any spare capacity to put them, so I'm actually going to have to think about getting rid of something to do that. Let's get rid of this. Just because I don't actually have the number, I don't have the capacity up there to actually get a bunch. Should I get rid of this as well? No, we'll leave it at that for the moment. So they're going to destroy that. We shall put down some army mages straight away. Some very costly army mages. What do they cost? 150? 170? That's more than a leaf cutter major. Probably shouldn't have got rid of... Oh, I didn't get rid of those yet. Okay, good. Definitely don't need to do that. So we've made a few. I don't want to do any more because we've got no more food. We've only got a couple of hundred food left.
Perhaps a praying mantis next.
A praying mantis, mate. That's like 6, 7. How many's there? Loads. Now, this is where I'm going to get a little concerned. I might have gone a bit overboard there with our... oh, there's a good chunk of army to come down yet, I suppose. So it is, I only thought it was 2 adults to start. I didn't see the third one. They're hidden in there. Well, one of them's gone. 2 of them's gone. So that one should go very soon, which is good because we are so close to being out of food. It's crazy. Let's get that food in store as soon as possible, please, lads. There is also some in here as well. I might send the 5s down here to get this food. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have? Oh my word. All of the whip spiders you could imagine.
They all want to bite her. It's really quite obscene.
So we have a good chunk of food in store now, which is lovely. But this is quite a lot to survive, actually. And you can see our numbers are getting quite decimated. And this is the reinforcements coming. So a lot of the little ones have gone. I think pretty much there's one surviving down there, but most of the little ones have gone. There's a couple up there as well. And try and send them a little bit down there to try and focus their attacks if we can on this big guy. But it hasn't really made much difference at all. It has a little bit there. It has a little bit towards the end. But now there's only 2 of them, so might as well just head straight for the middle. Some spiny crickets on top of that. And we've got 2 basically... Oh, there's only 1 left. No, okay. Not all as bad as I thought. Probably don't need to worry about grabbing the food right now, guys. Just worry about, you know, the impending doom of the crickets and the whip spiders. Looks like we're doing okay though. We've obviously lost a lot of ants. It's cost us a lot of food, but we are doing okay. These are all we're mainly probably worried about actually having enough ants putting eggs out, I imagine. Because yeah, we're down to 40 odd workers, so probably the eggs are the problem at the moment. So I've added some more to the nursery group because we have a lot of nurseries to try and take care of now, so that should help that.
A big whip spider.
That is a fully grown whip spider, but I'm going to give he's happy over there for the moment, so I'm going to give these guys a chance to try and recover. if I can, because we are struggling a little bit. We do have more ants on the egg duty, but our food is starting to run a little low and our numbers aren't really going up. We are down to just 2 crickets left though, so I'd like to see this number start climbing a little bit, really. You can see them shuffling the eggs around, look, pretty quick, that's nice. We are out of food entirely now though. So we can't even hatch anything else if we wanted to, and the whip spider is here. That is a bit of a problem. He's not going to come in the nest though, is he? So I might send everyone down and hope that he moves. And we can get some people out gathering some food. Otherwise, we're basically screwed. Huh. Huh. We are basically screwed. So I want to try and mount like a little resistance launch against this food stockpile here. Which is why I've added a bunch of workers to this group here, but I can't do it when he's just stood there, and that food's going to start disappearing at some point. Do I just go for it? I might have to. I'm going to turn off their attack. And just see if some of them can just grab some food and get it back, because otherwise we're pretty screwed. So we seem to be doing okay. Numbers are ticking up. So I might start sending our attacking force to him. Add some more people on egg duty. And if he focuses on the army ants and those workers can keep scurrying back and forth. We're up to 130 attackers. Our food is actually going up. Oh, he's down. He's down already. I thought he'd take a lot longer than that. I thought he would take a lot longer than that. So I'm going to leave everyone as they are. No, I'm not going to send the ones over here to make sure they get this stuff first.
Grow quickly.
Because that's been there the longest.
We have lots of work to do.
Do we? Is there more? I thought that would be it. Right, that's our 19 army ant majors created. Which should mean this is basically full again. At which point we will start upgrading stuff.
For the final experiment.
The rehousing was disruptive.
Disruptive, is that how you phrase it?
Stockpile food for a fair test.
Very well.
So ones head over there, start harvesting that guy. We need to think about what it is we're going to upgrade. I might just go straight for the majors, you know. Try and keep over 1,000 food. Oh, there we go. There it is.
The nest isn't perfect.
There it is. That's exactly what happened.
Then clear out the specimens and bleach the equipment.
Yes, I know. I'm doing it.
And when you are finished here, I think we should have a word about your conduct around the laboratory.
Because it's terrifying.
What was that?
Nothing.
I'd forgotten about that.
Good. Let me know when you have a result.
Alright, let's get one level 3 in place, and then how's our food looking? Still lots of food, actually.
Winner will have the privilege of joining me for the ultimate test, the real final experiment. The loser will be relegated to the waste disposal.
So here they come.
The former Cariums are connected. Let the war commence!
So I'm going to move them out slightly. In fact, no, I'm going to go for a full-on attack, because if we do that, we get extra resource drops. So the 5s can stay here gathering this. While everyone else is just going to go hell for leather.
Finally meet. Interesting combination.
Oh, his little hands there. Oh, of course, because he gets all slappy, doesn't he? Is he going to get slappy on us this time, though? Yeah, it wasn't a very smooth attack for us. It was quite staggered, wasn't it, because of all the food gathering. I'm going to turn their food gathering off in case anything does get dropped around here. So the first wave is done, and the enemy ants have scurried away. Like the chickens they are. How are the 5s doing? They're still gathering food from that. That's lasted a lovely long time. You are receiving resource drops. Hold the center. So we just get little bits of food dropped occasionally now. Is that what happens? Are we all dead? It's very hard to see. That doesn't seem like we have many in there, does it? No, we lost a lot. We lost a lot in one go, look. Here come the backup reserve army. So I'm going to put another group on the egg gathering duty. So we don't seem to get much food dropped to really concern ourselves with. So we have a fairly steady supply of ants coming up, which is nice. There is a fairly humongous amount of army ant, major ants and ranged ants here to take care of. Is he getting all slappy? Not on them, I notice. Is he getting slappy on us? So I don't know if it's really worth us maybe just trying to console our forces a little bit. Consolidate our forces, I should say. Try and get some numbers together to go en masse a little bit more rather than the sort of piecemeal just throw in. Oh, come on. That's foiled my plan immediately. What are you doing, lads? Ladies. What are you doing, ladies? Yeah, these are really proving quite tricky, aren't they? If we could just get through these majors, we would be okay. But we are down to 200 food. They got... Oh, I was going to say they got a lot of food drops. No, they didn't. We are slowly... If you can, someone can just take care of this one, please, because he's got so little health. Thank you. As soon as we get through the majors and we can hit those ranged ones, we'll be fine. But we are now out of food, which is a huge, huge concern. It's only one major, and these should go down very, very fast. So I will actually turn on their food gathering, because although there's not much there, we really, really need it. Because you're only at half force at the moment. Unfortunately, it's the trapjaws that are going to get there, which are our second strongest units. But at least the enemy don't get the food, which is the main thing. Now, I don't know how much they actually have down there. Should we take a look? Shall we take a look? Send the 5s to gather that bit of food that's dropped there.
Could our colony be in trouble?
Don't have much at all, do they? We might have timed this. Yeah, they've got lots of, but they've got no food. Yeah, they used up all their food on that sustained attack. So we are actually about to destroy this queen. I am very glad they didn't utilize our nest, because we were massively overprepared for this this challenge. There she goes. Boom. Pathetic, useless ants.
Perhaps this new colony will prove to be a superior research.
Well, clearly it will prove to be exactly that. Victory for Formica Raptor. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. There we go. Well, it's been a little while since we had a new level, isn't it? I know that there are new levels being released as well, like the Extremist, but we did see those in the open beta as well, or beta, depending on your pronunciation preference. So yes, it's nice to see an actual new, fresh level to my eyes. Interesting as well to have that kind of reverse Formicarium challenge. That's quite interesting. Quite interesting indeed. His hand's still there. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't trust him. Cool. Well, hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. If you do hit the like button, massively appreciated. As you may have noticed, again, I failed to stream this week and I'm so sorry. I'm trying so hard, but life is just so hectic. Trying to keep on top of doing videos and attempting to stream and looking after a baby and work a full-time job is quite challenging, so it turns out. Who would have known? Hopefully we'll manage to get streaming in next week, hopefully. Fingers crossed. If I do, I'll hopefully see you there to say hello. Otherwise, I will see you next time in Empires of the Undergrowth. And as always, well, thank you very, very much for joining me.